This is the Authority Tracker. It is a tool which is designed to track website authority over time, much like a rank tracker would, except instead of tracking your position within the search engines, this will actually track your domain authority, page authority, trust flow, and citation flow. This program is something that is going to be good for people who want to provide reports for their SEO clients, or if they want to track their own website authority over time, make sure that the changes that they're doing to their websites and the SEO work they're doing to the websites is actually effective. I'm just going to go over the features of this program real fast, and then we will take a look at some of the data. For the purposes of this video, I've just changed the projects so that I'm not outing any personal information, but these are real projects. When you first start up the program, you're going to be presented with this screen. Your projects are going to be automatically loaded. It's going to be doing some other checking and things in the background, making sure you have a database, because this does work with the SQLite plugin. It's going to make sure that your settings are there so that it can know if it should alert you if you need to fill out the settings. Over on the settings tab, you have the ability to schedule tasks. For example, if I wanted to run this once a week at 3 p.m., then I would just schedule that. It would create the task, and it's going to let me know that at 3 p.m. every 7 days, the program is going to run the updater. Now, there's two parts to this overall project. There's the authority tracker itself. This is the interface in which you can change the settings, you can look at the data, and then there's the actual updater, which looks like this, but it actually starts up minimized, runs automatically, and then closes by itself. So it has a simple GUI, but it's likely that people won't ever really see it. Now, within the settings here, you want to add your Moz and Majestic settings. For this to really work properly, you should have a Majestic paid account, unless you're only tracking 1 or 2 domains. If you're tracking several domains, then you're going to want to have a Majestic account so that you don't get limited by the searches. You can check the settings in here, and when you click these buttons, and it will let you know if the settings are correct or not. I'm going to remove this task. When you start up, it will let you know if there's a task scheduled. And you can only schedule one task at a time, of course. The way the program was built is it will only add one set of results per day. So if for some reason you set it to run, say, 10 minutes out, let it run, and then later that day you schedule the task to start maybe every day at 8 p.m., it will overwrite the changes for that day. And that is so that we can keep the graph looking all nice and tidy. And I'll actually show the data in a minute. Here are the projects. Very simple. You can just add a project with a name and a domain, or really any URL. And then if you want to remove a project, just select one, hit delete. It'll let you know that you're removing a project. In this case, I'm going to hit yes, and it's removed the project. Now back over to the data screen, let's take a look at load project. I'm just going to load the first project here, and it's going to load the data for that project inside of the data grid. And what I can do now is I can actually click on graph, and it's going to graph that data. And as you can see, it's something that you can hover over, and it's going to tell you all the different data points that it has. I've obviously modified the name, but the actual project is real, and it was something that obviously was started work on quite a while ago. Now let's look at the export options. When you choose CSV, it's going to export it to a CSV with the headers intact. That's something that you can send to a client real nice and easily. If you choose image, it's going to export an image. The black border is actually part of the image program I have, so it really just gives you this, just the image. So that looks nice. It's really easy to throw into a report. You can also choose graph HTML so that you can do something else with it. Maybe you want to throw it on a web page, or if you find a use for it, it's just a cool little way to export the graph that exists within the project itself. So once again, this is the Authority Tracker. It's a pretty neat tool. There's a lot of cool things in the source code, like getting the Moz API and creating the graph, and definitely a really good way to learn about things like that. Also, it does use a database again. It also uses a scheduling system. So if you've been kind of curious about working with those, it's going to be a good learning tool for you. It also is good for people, like I said, who have SEO clients who need to give them data on a regular basis to show the progress of their work. This would be a great way to show your clients that what you're doing for them in terms of SEO is actually having a long-term effect. And you can just set up the scheduler and hit schedule, and then that's it. It's going to run for you automatically. And if you don't know that it's running, then it's something that you don't really notice. I only really turned it off on the days that I was either working on it or that I was recording. So as you can see, most of the days are pretty much filled up. And that's just simply because I didn't notice it was running. Again, when the updater runs, it's running minimized in the background, and it closes without error or without any alert boxes. So you don't ever notice it. The only time it's ever gonna let you know that it's there is if there is some settings screwed up. So if you were to go into the settings for some reason and say you removed the Moz settings or a Moz setting and saved it, then it's gonna let you know in the updater when it starts running that you need to go back into the main program and correct the settings. So once again, this is the Authority Tracker. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them either in the sales thread, or you can email me at sales@imautobots.com. This comes with 2 source code videos. One of them is 40 minutes long, roughly, that goes over everything inside of the Authority Tracker, and the other one is 10 minutes long that goes over everything inside of the updater.